the spirits are very angry. They want to speak with you. What? Where? Like how do we even start this conversation? It says at Raintree Hotel.
And we are...
Go on.
Not live.
One day, I promise you, one day we're going to actually have a proper intro. I will badger Kyle so that we actually get a proper intro instead of we are not live.
Yep.
It's not even like you're saying we are dead or something. Then it ties into dead air. Sorry, you have to sit through our couple's argument, Eugene.
Oh, I think
Therapy.
it's quite fun to see this happening. The dynamics between you guys.
That's what you get when we call each other work wives.
Yep, exactly.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Dead Air.
Welcome.
Today we have a very, very special guest.
Really very special.
I honestly can't believe it's taken this long for us to sit down all together.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we're all together now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Supernatural Confessions, Eugene Tay.
Hi, everyone.
Just for I'm going to say two people out there who don't know who Supernatural Confessions are. At most two people. Maybe one if we're lucky. I'm reading this off the official description from, I think, YouTube.
Okay.
So if there's anything you want to update, just let me know.
Sure.
Supernatural Confessions is a collection of stories recounted by people with real paranormal experiences. And here we have the man behind it, as introduced, Eugene Tay.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think the same vision from then still applies very much to today. Not wavered at all.
See, that's consistency, man. That's what keeps Supernatural Confessions up and going, the consistency.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard of you guys from way back. I met up with Kyle, I think pre-COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, just before COVID.
Yeah. He's the more popular and more social of the two of us.
No lah. We each have our own audience.
I was a fan of the show, Ghost Maps, and I was listening to it. And finally, I was tracing you guys down like, so these are the guys. It's like, yeah, but we don't want to show face. I said, okay, no, I can respect that because you're podcasters. Then later on, I'm like, wait a minute, these guys are doing videos now.
Yeah. We did pivot.
We did pivot, yeah.
Actually, when did we pivot?
We pivot
like 2 years
when
ago.
Ghost Maps took off.
Yeah.
Like really took off. I mean the pandemic really helped, right? People wanted ghost stories during that.
Just stuck at
I'm
home,
sure you all
what to
amped
do.
up your production also.
We were lucky. It wasn't planned. It was not like I had a foresight. I just happened to start the live show right before the pandemic started. So pandemic started sometime in 2020. 2019.
Yeah.
At tail end of 2018, I was already doing live show.
Yeah.
So when 2019 March hit and everything was locked down at home, I was already in the zone already.
Yeah.
But back then, the quality is chacha camera, chacha mic lah. Everything was chacha lah.
Yeah. We all started.
How long? I'm trying to think back. How long has it been since you guys started? I mean, you all have been around for...
I've been around since 2015. Prior to that, I was also doing paranormal investigation, but it wasn't with any official capacity. It was more like a hobby, hit and run. And actually, my very first foray into the paranormal was 2012. And that's where the book is about. 2 years I was in the zone, every day, seeing stuff. Like when people talk about paranormal experiences, you get that one fleeting moment.
Yeah.
You get that one shadowy incident and that's it, and you have a story to tell. I had 2 full years of harrowing experience.
Yeah.
So after that, I just went into... I was curious for answers. I went into it. And one thing led to another because once I printed a book as a form of closure, people started calling me and says, hey, I have an experience just like yours. Can I share it? So it became like the halfway house for people to just call. We all hold hands. Hi, my name is Eugene. I have a paranormal experience. And hi, Eugene. Everyone sits down and tell their story. That's kind of how we started. So in 2015, officially, I started a YouTube channel. But then maybe that's like one video a year. Because you do so much effort, you put it up there, and then you get like 3 views. Your mom, your father, and maybe your grand aunt. And then...
Wait. Your mom watches your stuff? She doesn't even watch mine.
It's kind of touching because my mom and my parents actually hated what I do with this. Typical Peranakan mother, right? Ayah, sway lah, you do all this, Hantu follow you back home lah. Ayah, you bring all this nonsense. And then now I heard my dad messaging me, oh, son, that was a very scary story you shared. I said, where? On YouTube. I said, what? When would you watch? Oh, I've been watching every other week. I was like, you don't say. So I think to me, beyond anything else, having your parents finally accept what you do, to me that's success. Right? That's I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, I also feel that way lah. Yeah, my parents initially didn't accept it. Asian parents lah. Yeah, sway lah.
My mom's interested, but she still doesn't believe in ghosts.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's actually a very good thing. You need to balance it out.
Ironically enough, my dad has been telling me ghost stories. So
it always comes in the family.
As it turns out, it seems to come from the fathers.
Yeah, from the fathers, of course.
So that kind of explains the origins of it. But then you were saying like, people started approaching you and everything. Since then, is it still the same where people are just out of nowhere spontaneously approaching you? Or
Wow. So as I was doing Supernatural Confessions, I've always said this. If one day the confessions stop, and I truly believe that there would be a finite amount of ghost stories. I believe Singapore, small island, there's only so many camp stories, haunted hotels, haunted toilets that you can hear. I almost imagine that one day we're all dried up. But it has not. And some of my latest video that I shared on my own Friday Night Live show, I happened to walk along the street and this guy was like asking for donations. I was like, hey, you're that guy from Supernatural Confessions, Eugene, right? Can I tell you a ghost story? So I okay, handphone out, ready, record. And I'm kind of, it's very heartwarming, right? When someone comes up to you and wants to share this. And this was what the entire vision of Supernatural Confessions was created for, to be a safe space for people to share. Because, frankly, in today's day and age, when you tell people, I've seen a ghost, they either don't know how to react or they call you crazy. And then what, right? So Supernatural Confessions became that halfway house, the platform for survivors to come in and find the right people for their tribe.
Supernatural therapy. Might have to rebrand.
Actually, we were talking about it on our friend's podcast, the Yalabat podcast, right? About how like supernatural, like the theme of supernatural and horror actually soothes the soul.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people, I'm sure you have listeners like this, right? Our listeners tell us that, we listen to Ghost Maps because it helps with my mental health and it makes me want to sleep. Like I want to sleep to it, that kind of thing.
Very weird.
It's very weird, but I get it. I do that to a certain extent. So do you guys have that?
Yeah, we have that as well. But so far, no one said they wanted to sleep to it. I get people telling me, I go jogging, I listen to your podcast. Then things happen to me. Or this girl I met at the supermarket, it was hilarious. I look at her, she looked at me. She smiled, I smiled. Then I look behind her, there's this angry boyfriend. I was like, oh shit, oops, sorry, I checked out your girl. He's like, I don't like you very much. I was like, wow, what did I do? Every Friday night, I want to go and sleep. My girlfriend turns on all the light, just want to listen to you and don't want to sleep. I was like, So I have people also tell me, I cannot listen to you at night because it will be attracting. So I only listen to you on Saturday or Sunday morning.
Yeah. So you do like agree with the fact that like when we talk about ghost stories, even now it attracts things, right? Yeah, very much. I tell you guys, really, we risk our lives out there just to tell good ghost stories.
I had things happen to me in my studio. So maybe if you guys are lucky, things might move. I'm not sure.
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
Yeah. The vibe in this place is very nice. So I had experiences where, my house is clean, I think, right? As best as I can, right? There's the asap rumah. Asap rumah means you smoke the house and everything. But there are times where I just turn on the mic and I start telling ghost stories. Things will move.
Oh, yeah.
People see, audience saw, there's a shadow in your room just moving. And when I replay it, I can't explain.
You alone lah?
I was alone.
No, but it's like late at night lah.
10 plus.
Bro.
Yeah. There were one-off incidences where this one really spooked the hell out of me. I finished a live show. I went to bed. About 4 a.m. I woke up. Just woke up. And from my room to the other room across the small corridor, if the doors are open, you can see right through.
Yeah.
So I saw my kid. He's about, I think, 4 years old. He was laughing and giggling and talking to the bookshelf. And I woke up. I said, what are you doing? He says, Koko asked me to play hide and seek.
Walao.
I was like, wow, okay. Let's go back and sleep. I was spooked, man.
When was this?
2021 maybe.
Oh my
It's quite
God.
recent enough.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know which one is worse, whether it's good or bad that when kids, and I've heard like stories similar to that where the kid is like talking about like something that's there, but they're always so like, like
You're always happy, right?
Yeah, it's like no big deal.
I seen it firsthand. I seen it first.
I don't know whether it's better or worse that they're happy.
No, they start pointing to things and saying things that are not there.
Yeah.
And then all the adults straight away immediately, nothing lah. And it's like, it's so weird. Like, But did your kid remember?
No, he doesn't.
The next day, don't remember.
He didn't. Yeah.
You sure that one your kid or not?
So, like,
Or doppelganger?
maybe, right. So the thing is, I always try to, incidents like this that is one-off, is hard to prove. It's very easy for even us as people in the industry to just find a logical reason and shoehorn it inside. Sleepwalking nightmare. Done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of like running away from the possibility that it could have been something, right? Yeah, and if it happens in repetition, then it's very hard to explain. Like, really hard to explain.
Recurring is one thing. The other one is if something moves, that is also very hard to explain. So my wife loves to bring back secondhand items from all this vintage thing, like your wooden table, this kind of stuff she loves as well. There's souls in trees, so this is
there is. And so sorry.
So she brought back this 100-year-old cabinet. The kind of cabinet that doesn't use screws and nails.
Oh my
really heavy stuff. It's beautiful, it's vintage. But I look at it, it came into the house, I was like, oh, I could feel it, bro. Now, I'm not a person with a third eye, so let's clarify that. But having done this over so many years, I kind of hone that sensitivity just a little bit. Right? So it comes in like, okay, something's wrong. My eye started twitching, I was getting goosebumps. I say, okay, now I just not talk about it. Don't raise awareness. It's going to go away.
Yeah.
My wife, who's a skeptic, who's like devout Catholic, and I don't believe in ghosts. It's like the stove just turned on and off by itself, and I heard a voice behind me. It's a woman's voice, and the spirit that I detected was a woman inside of it. And then I said, okay, what do we do with this now? Do we throw it away because it's a beautiful cabinet, and then more importantly, we paid a lot of money for it. So, rational mind. Let's negotiate with the spirit. We allow you to stay here. Just don't disturb the family. Is that okay? And turns out, we had a lot of peace after that. So sometimes when
the spirit's still at your house?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my God.
So the way I treat spirits is like, as a friend, with compassion and love, like, hey bro, don't disturb you, don't disturb me, okay. So spirit said, thumbs up, we fist bump, and it was all cool.
So did you like negotiate with the spirit through a medium, or you did it yourself?
I did it myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Champion in this guy.
Can I just say this is why I only shop at IKEA? A little bit less likely,
Because that one not really wood, right?
Yeah.
That one not really wood. I can deal with a little whopping in my shelves, but if I have to negotiate with a spirit, that's a little bit more than I paid for. I don't think that the warranty
deal with the whopping lah.
I'll deal with the whopping.
If it's haunted, just change because it's $9.90. You can buy another one.
Okay.
So speaking of your wife, right? Does she approve of what you do?
The short answer is no.
The boss said a lot.
The boss said a lot.
But it was not something I was going to stop for anyone. And I was doing this way before I met her. So I don't think she can come in and try to deter me for it. And I think I can't remember, but I think we had a conversation where it was, if it was her or SC, which one would I pick? There was no pause. There was no break in that decision-making process of SC. So I think she kind of know where she stands with
I need to cut this clip out and just give it to him to upload to the SC fans so that he can say, this man is dedicated.
How dedicated are you? I negotiated with my wife.
SC. I've negotiated with spirits, I've negotiated with my wife, and I choose SC.
That's right. Negotiated with spirits, I've experienced all this kind of thing, but the scariest thing was negotiated with my wife and I won.
Wow.
That's dedication.
Yeah, because the reason I ask is because you obviously you go on a lot of like paranormal adventures, and your wife like to collect vintage stuff, so there will be a lot of collection of energy.
Overlap.
Overlap in your house.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So how do you deal with that?
I think you touch on a very sensitive and good topic to talk about, because only very recently in this year something happened to my house and me.
Oh wow.
So this is 2023, and I have a considerable amount of experience. Not expert by any yardstick, but more so than the common guy. And I felt that my house is protected. I got all my defense against the dark arts. There was so much overlapping energy that even too much of a good thing becomes a conflict. And you get this whirlpool of energy that started creating vortexes around the house. And then I start bringing back things from outside. So there's one time I went for, because every Saturday I do my walk with Hantu Changi. Yeah. This was even before 7 months. Something followed me back home. And I came out of the shower. It was dry. It's like, wooden floor and everything. I felt someone pushed me. And I fell and I hit my mouth. Like full on stitches and everything.
Oh, shit.
Right? So if you trip, you would have braced yourself.
Yeah.
I felt a force and I just went boom. So I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell anyone. I just sorted out, went to the hospital, got my stitches, came back, my lips were swollen. My mom, 2 days after I fell, she was pushed as well at home. Shit. Stumbled, hit against the wall, blue black. I got photographs of that and it looks, and it's like, this is not a trip and fall.
Yeah.
And I said, do you trip or do you felt pushed? She goes like, someone pushed me. And this is my Peranakan mom who doesn't want to talk about ghosts.
Yeah.
So immediately I said, okay, I'm dealing with something that, above my pay grade already. What should I do? And if I felt that all these defenses and amulets in my house are supposed to keep me safe, obviously I'm not feeling very secure right now. So thankfully, when I went online live that Friday with my mouth all swollen, people were saying, hey, you look, your energy is dark, it's black. And throughout that week, before I even went online, I was meeting up with confessors and everyone. Yeah. And some of them had third eye. Most of them have third eye. Yeah. So this lady, she said, you look, don't mind if I say this, but you look like, what's that character? Spawn.
Oh, damn.
You have this cloak behind you. It's all black entities. Yeah. You can see this, it's almost like sentient, and it's just overlapping you. And when you come to my house, it just sips into everything. I was like, okay, that sounds cool, but when it's about you, then it's like, okay, that's not cool anymore. Yeah. So the following week, I said, I'm going to meet some spiritual masters to get myself cleansed. And people are like, no, next Sunday is too late. So throughout the week, I was like meeting with different people. And these are people who do not know each other. Yeah. Right. So they say, oh, I can see this about you. I can see this about you. And if you take the anecdotal evidence of them not knowing each other and the fact that they can see the same thing, I then have to take what they say to me with a little bit more weight. Yeah. And more importantly, I ask, can it be cleansed? He says, can. But the spirits are very angry. They want to speak with you. What? Where? Like what? How do we even start this conversation? It says, at Raintree Hotel. Go back there. So I went back there, offerings and everything. The spirits wanted this, make some demands. Okay. Thankfully for spirits, as opposed to gangsters, they are not about the human material value. They're like, I want 3 cigarettes and a can of Guinness Stout. I was like, oh sure, done deal, right? Fair enough. So and through intermediaries, we started having conversations with the spirits. Now, I have no idea what it was being talked about. It's all through a third-party interpretation, but it's based on trust and faith already. Yeah. So it turns out that the spirits were not happy that I trespassed in, create conversations, and apparently they felt that I mocked them. And because, although my house is supposed to be protected, but there is overlapping of energy, then basically too much of a good thing becomes nullified. Yeah. Yeah. And then they follow me in.
Then how did you settle it?
The funny thing is, when we look at all these exorcist cases, paranormal cases, you would think like Hollywood, the chair can fly, or maybe I'll be like, nothing like that. It's pretty much uneventful. You state what you want, I state what I want. It's like gangster lah. And then they asked me to stop doing what I do. I said, no, I can't. I'm going to keep doing what I do. Yeah. Then they said, okay, the next time you do this again, we want you to speak about us in a positive way. Okay. Like not make fun of them. Yeah. I think I can do that. And then the best part is after the whole negotiation finished, like, you want us to scare your participants when they come next? just don't touch them, just don't follow them home. Just you want to open the window, close the window, it's fine, but don't come anywhere near. Yeah.
I did not see this ending with business negotiations.
Yeah. So was it like a one-off thing?
That was a one-off thing. Yeah.
So it's settled now lah. They are appeased lah.
Settled, appeased. The next time I came back again, I felt a sense of, welcome. But then again, is it psychological? Not. I don't know. But I didn't feel anything was off about it.
But after the thing that you felt better lah, then even like the people around you also like, oh, you're getting better lah.
So when I did this, I didn't tell anyone, even on my life. I tell them after it has happened.
Oh my God.
So when the following week I came back, I was like, oh wow, you're so much brighter. There's light and glow. And basically that whole week I was like Palo Santoing my house and saging and smudging because I had to reset energy.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah. So would you say, are you religious?
I'm spiritual, not religious.
But you have like objects at your home to protect you lah.
Yeah.
Not an altar lah. Like,
no.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Like I have almost different artifacts from different religious background, but now I have to put them in a nice box, consecrate them a little bit, and not leave them out in the open.
Is that why there were vortex of energy?
Yeah, because
they were clashing, right? Clashing.
Okay.
Is it so you? One can even say like what the spiritual advisor said, that it's like too many of a good thing, right? Wow.
So what I heard, and I don't know how true this is, I'm just going to share with you guys, is like if you have the Taoist item there and you have the Christian item, they cancel each other out.
Right.
If you have the Buddhist item there and you have the Thai Buddhist item there, they cancel each other out. So there are some signs behind the cancellation. I have no idea how it works, but apparently two different objects of two different conflicting faith, although independently they are good, when put together, they cancel each other.
How together are we talking? Like if they're side by side, that's one thing. But like if they're in the same house,
I had like a mini museum on a bookshelf because I'm trying to set up a museum. So I had this whole idea of being the mini Warrens. So you got items and artifacts, haunted artifacts that's been not desecrated. Sorry, consecrated. And I just left it there, and I got mermaid flesh. Apparently, I got fairy dust. I got wood from coffin, nails from coffin.
Oh, that is not fun.
Yeah. So, but apparently, the nail from coffin, if you treat it well,
are good for you.
They're good for you.
But only if it's your ancestors.
Is it?
Yes.
I think they missed out on that.
We have also. Not me. My family has it. From it must be a direct ancestor or someone related to you. So my great grandmother's nail coffins are at home at my parents' place behind the ancestral tablet. Okay. Yeah, I tried to touch it as a kid. I got scolded by my grandmother. She cannot touch. This one is sacred. You cannot touch. Yeah. So yeah, I've heard of that. Wow, that is hardcore because I've only seen like these kind of objects, right? At like the Ghostbuster at Katong. They show like everything, corpse oil, everything. Then I always walk past. I get like a weird feeling, man. Yeah. Then you can see. Oh, so you really garang, you just keep all these things at your house. Have you ever thought of like just putting them in like a
storage facility?
Yeah, storage facility. No, to be fair, it's not as crazy as the one at Katong, right? That's really hardcore. I'm not having that in my house. Yeah. Besides, my kids going to topple things and then
make things worse. Yes.
I kept what I felt were the positive ones or the not so negative ones. Okay. There were others, like Stephen is one of my member and also a confessor. When I went to his house, he had hundreds. At last count was 500 over different artifacts in his house, from Indonesian doll to Japanese doll to Thai amulets and what have you. It's a United Nations of barang in his house.
How is he?
When his father passed away, he says, I don't know how to do this. And he's like, my crease can move on the wall. I can hear more.
No, as in that's not his.
His father's.
Oh, okay.
So when his father passed away, then he, as the eldest son, is the rightful new owner of all this. When he's like, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to take care of it. So not me, but I brought a master down to wrap everything up, to ask for permission. And he said, where can we put it? I said, just put it into a store first lah. Yeah, so at some store that you pay monthly, somewhere in Singapore, will probably have some haunting or movement at night if you go there.
Oh yeah. Short story, I recently went to a store, to my friend's store. Then, film industry lah. So he stores a lot of equipment in the stores. I never said anything to him, but just a bit of context. I do have some form of sense. I think this is something that we are born with in my family. So the moment I stepped in, it's a long corridor. It's like horror film like that, but it's about 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Nothing. But then the moment I took a right turn towards his store, I felt something. Like my hair stand. Straight away stand. Then I got very uncomfortable. Then I took a right turn. I can't see the thing, but I can feel there's something standing there, looking at me. Well, luckily the guy, he just, Carl, this is my equipment. Show a bit, then zao already. But then I walk first. I immediately walk first. I was like, wow, bro, this place, confirm got somebody put something, put urn inside, confirm one. Because it's a storage. There is no rule of what you cannot store. Yeah. Like, allegedly, you can store whatever you want. They're not going to check what. So, people have found urns inside storage, which is not uncommon. So, yeah.
I think we need to check whether, just off air, check whether it's, just see whether it's the same storage place.
Yeah, somewhere in Kembangan.
I have to say, it's moments like this that made me glad that between the two of us, I am more blurred than you are because I am the bigger coward.
No, but the thing is that when you don't have a sense, when it hits you, like that time in Changi, right?
Yeah.
Then it's very, very real, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa, what happened in Changi?
It was, we've told this story before, but it's always worth telling again.
Yeah.
Long story short was we were having a barbecue at Changi. And then we were heading, a couple of us wanted to go to the toilet, which is a bit of a walk away from the pit lah. So one of our friends was like, okay, take my dog for a walk. And this dog is very well behaved. I did not put the leash on properly, but most of the trip to the washroom, not a big deal because the dog would just walk at its own pace. Kyle and a few of our friends were walking ahead. I was behind with the dog. And this is a very well behaved dog. Doesn't normally make a lot of noise, very well trained. I passed by a tree. There's nothing there but the tree and an ocean beyond. The dog starts barking and it runs towards the tree. And this is when I realized that the leash is not like clipped on properly. So the thing that scares me the most is my friend trying to kill me because her dog ran off.
Yeah.
I would have ended up a ghost by the end of the night. So I leap forward and Kyle he hears from behind, push, me falling on the floor, grabbing the dog. Kyle always would disturb the dog. It's something he loves doing. He'll tell the dog, come here, I'm gonna put you in the oven. just to annoy our friend.
Yeah.
So Kyle does not say sweet things to the dog. Kyle comes over and at this point already, the fact that the dog was barking at the tree and nothing else already filled me with something's not right. It wasn't fear, but it's just hey, wait a minute. And then Kyle comes, looks towards the ocean and the tree, and then starts saying to the dog, good girl. And that's what freaked me out. He was like, okay, he's being nice to the dog. Something must be wrong. It's not
I said, it's okay, good girl.
Yeah. It's it's okay, good girl.
I calmed the dog down.
Straight away, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He's never said this to this dog.
Yeah.
So both of us realized something's there.
On the tree.
Yeah. And
Miss P,
but it wasn't. That's the funny thing. It wasn't an angry energy. But it wasn't. That's the thing. Shifan, it wasn't an angry energy.
It wasn't.
And weirdly enough, it was.
Yeah.
Carl always used to say when like we were talking when you talk about these things, they are listening.
Yeah.
And they, like you said, they want to know that they are treated with respect. Yeah. You're not taking light the situation. And not just spirits but humans. You don't want any ill will towards you. And if you are nice to them, they will acknowledge lah.
Yeah.
We went back and the next day we talked about it. I foolishly messaged Carl at night. I was like, because we went back to our barbecue pit and he was telling our friends, the dog saw a rat. And I messaged Carl later on at night when we reached back at 3 a.m. That wasn't a rat, right? And then he saw my message, he put his phone down and just ignored me until the next day. The next day he replied with, why you messaged me this thing at night? But he also went, no, it wasn't a rat. And then we got to talking and we both realized it wasn't angry. It was almost like just making itself known.
That's what they do.
Yeah, so it was weirdly enough, it was at that moment, I think that was one of the clear milestones for me that, okay lah, we must be doing something right with Ghost Maps lah. Because if our very specific target audience over on this side has heard it and they went, I just want to let you know that I'm here.
Yeah.
But at most, like what happened to Carl at the barbecue pit, Carl was at the barbecue pit and like he felt like leaves were being thrown
You know
at
they
him.
throw leaves at you, right? Yeah.
So if at most that's all, like it's just getting his attention, it's getting my attention.
Yeah, but I was being cheeky lah.
You were being
I
cheeky.
shined the light at the tree. But the tree was a very low. It was about this height only. Yeah, it's quite a low tree. Yeah, but I was cooking. Yeah, just like.
Yeah. So that story for me was like, okay, at least, you know what? I think we're okay because we didn't get any like bad feelings.
This was the chalet that has that nice.
Not chalet.
Oh, it wasn't even chalet.
It's not near the chalet. You know the Changi beach, right?
Yeah.
Where you can see the plains land.
Yes.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nearer to the Changi village side. Yeah.
So I want to share this with you guys as ghost storytellers and people who are in the same industry talking about ghosts. I had a message from the other side on one of my meditation journeys, and I believe that there are entities out there, the otherworldly entities, not just ghosts.
Yeah.
I'm talking about anything other than human. It could be the divine, the demonic in nature, wandering spirits. They are looking for a way to reach out to the masses to validate their existence.
Yep.
And they're using people like us.
Yeah.
And because we are already speaking their language, they are more likely to come to us, make their presence known, throwing leaves, throwing stones, to try and give you more information so they can talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel that?
Yeah. It almost feels like the moment we stop talking about them as a whole, like, as humans, right, they cease to exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bridge is gone. No more.
It's like the saying that people always say, like, well, not always say lah, but like there's the feeling that, you know, you die twice in your life. Once when your body just like, and you actually physically die.
Yeah.
The other is when the last person who remembers you passes on. Then your memory fades completely. So I think it's kind of like that where, you know, if we're talking about them, then they're like you said, like they're validated. Their existence has not meaning, but you know, it's nice to be acknowledged lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of like the whole respect thing, right? I was listening to a Taiwanese podcast, and they got like horror producers, like horror films. These are feature horror, properly funded. They also brought the film into Singapore.
Yeah.
So it's the producer from The Rope Curse.
Oh yeah.
There's three sequels.
Yeah.
So they actually use one of the most haunted hotels in Taiwan. And kena. So the executive producer was on set. And then they filmed, they did the press tour, they brought reporters. Apparently that hotel really got people die on. Then a lot of weird things happened. So when he was resting in his car, sitting while everybody packing up, he saw entities rushing out towards his car, wanting to board his car. But his car got protection. Then he immediately jumped out. Then there was a guy who is like a tanki. He had a deity on him. So the deity immediately come cleanse and say that they are very pissed off at you. Same thing, because you never show them respect. And they are coming after you because you're the executive producer. You're the atao. That's why all of them want to give you something. And then apparently something followed him back home. Then of course then there were negotiations. It's like at the end of the day it's about respect, about boundaries. Like you can don't believe, but I think the basic thing is respect. You wouldn't do this to a fellow human. Right? Would you do this to something that you cannot comprehend? Or like not there yet in terms of comprehension? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Actually, talking about locations, that was something I wanted to ask you. So you were talking about the Changi walks, right?
Yeah.
Is that the scariest place you've ever been to?
No, not the scariest place I've been to. I would consider the Changi walk that we are running every Saturday to be the night safari version of what we usually do. Yeah.
Very different kind of night safari than what I'm thinking.
Because we would just walk on the pavement and we would point to locations that are reputedly to be haunted.
Yeah.
But we are away from that. We're not inside. We're not hitting the bowl and creating smoke and please come to me to this device right here. We're not doing that. So it's a night safari version, not the safari version.
Okay, fair.
But Changi itself is extremely haunted.
Yeah.
There's so much vibe, and even the night safari version where people take photos of the window and everything, they were showing me things that they caught.
Yeah.
Now, with regards to that kind of photos, it's always very difficult to validate whether it is haunted or not. If it's too clear, Photoshop. If it's too blur, cannot validate.
Yeah.
Can't see anything, people draw a red circle and they make a joke out of it. So when it comes to photographs, it's very hard to validate. But that window incident, so we usually walk down and that particular second floor window, we always point out to people and says, previous participants have came down, they've taken a photo, they have seen things, right?
Yeah.
Without saying it is or it's not, just pointing it out to people. Then you take photo. And that day, for some reason, I had this voice in my head that says, the third story window is where the haunting is. And I said it out loud, guys, I want to see the third story. I think something's going to happen.
Yeah.
In my heart, I said, if there's any spirit there, give me a sign. Typical of that.
No.
Yeah.
Any spirit here, give me a sign. And the window opened by itself.
It was on video.
Yeah. I've seen the video.
And I'm still very logical. I said, okay, maybe the wind.
Yep.
Okay, if it's the spirit, slam the window. Ka-ding! Okay, let's try that a few more times. Can you open it? Can you close it? Can you open it? Can you close it? So, and 15 people were there, just with their cameras, all taking it.
Yep.
And when we look at we try to debunk or try to rationalize the science of it, it's very hard, you know, to. But again, we're not scientists. There could be air pockets, air wells, something on different layers. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But 15 people truly believe there was something there.
Yeah.
And when they took photo and they increased the contrast and all that, it seemed like someone is standing there. And when we showed the photo to other people who have the third eye, they kind of validated that, there's an old lady there, there's an old lady there, there's an old lady there. So, when it comes to Changi, even though it's the watered down version, it's still very active.
I've never told you this. Yeah, I never told you this.
This is very worrying.
There's always a lot of stories. There's always a lot of stories. I had a past, right?
Yes.
I used to do a lot of urban exploration. I go to a lot of haunted locations, almost everyone. So I've shot in Raintree Hotel before. Even before it became Raintree Hotel. I went into there before. In fact, with my wife, then girlfriend, with a whole big ass group of people. Before it was Raintree Hotel, right? It's like a... Was it a commando barracks?
Commando barracks,
commando barracks, right?
Yeah.
But it was in the midst of refurnishing, but it was abandoned. So there were like construction stuff all around, but you can go in. And there were no cameras. No cameras, No cameras, that means not illegal. So I went in with my big group of friends. I remember going to the second floor. I felt something. Like, it wasn't like it wasn't like Changi, the Changi Beach one. Like, you can feel there's something there. But I felt like very off. Maybe at that point, my sense not that strong, but I felt very off. And at that point, I don't believe one. I haven't had my like whole life-changing thing there. So I was taking photograph. There was a toilet on the second floor with a fuck ton of windows. It's like a perfect setting for horror. You can imagine why I shot photos there. And it was like 11 p.m. at night. We were shining light. Yeah, hardcore, right? Go in second floor. Then there was it was like the staircase was here, then on top toilet. So we go in, then we shine the light, see nothing. Then we go on the third floor, and Akil was with me. So the third floor, right, I think it barely had any like walls. So it's like exposed. So there were drinks. There were water, like packets of water, but not like offering. Just put one whole packet. I still remembering it. Then we wanted to take it. Then I was like, I cannot, don't take it.
Oh,
for the ghost one, don't take it.
He's daring, bro.
Yeah, don't take. Yeah, these stupid teenagers. So then we went down. We walked across the whole building to the other side, nearer to the start of the slope. That side. We went down, right? remember there at the level 1 there was a small room. Inside there was a fridge. Yes. It was one of those frozen fridges. And it looked very, very disgusting. So we wanted to go open it. I was like, hey, what if you open it, got something inside? I'm not saying that it's a murder. I'm just saying like maybe there's sacrificial stuff inside. I don't know. Then after that we left. We zao. Yeah. Those were the younger days. Like you'll be more stupid. We play with this kind of thing. No protection somehow. No protection. Just go only.
This was late 90s, early 2000s?
No. Late 2000s.
Can I just say two things? One, I would like to believe that all that was in that fridge was yogurt. I just like to believe that was it. And there was nothing else.
I don't know.
I'm going to live with that thought. No. Two, I'm glad I met you when I did and not any time earlier.
I mean, I think earlier I wasn't like... Yeah, I think now I'm more scared. Earlier I wasn't as scared.
No,
but that's the problem.
I like more scared guys.
That's the problem, you see? Yeah. It's really disrespectful. Yeah, it's the kind of thing you go in like, and no such thing one come on. You know, like, you've seen the type right? Then kena.
Okay. That also leads me to like, in terms of like scary places, is there any place that you will not go to?
Like it's a hard no.
It's a hard no. Like, look, you've already done walks in Changi.
Yeah.
So what's the one place where you're like, or any place where you're like,
no hard no's. I would in fact would love to go back to these places to try to see how it's like now compared to how it was before. There were some places I still remember very clearly in my head. The feeling of it.
Yeah.
Some of them are houses of people who confessed in JB. One more is Old Changi Hospital. I had a few close near-death encounters over there. Palace of the Golden Horse. That was where, if you read the book, when you have the time to read the book, in one of the chapters, it was my first full-blown paranormal activity. And I was not prepared for it. We were talking about wake up at 3 a.m., temperature drop, guttural laughter, cross broke off the chain and was found under the bed, TV turned on and off by itself, water running by itself. So that sort of poltergeist activity and all, I want to go back there again. If for nothing else, at least to overwrite that past bad memory with new memories.
Right.
As far as haunting goes, there's this place in Singapore that it's called Istana Woodnook. It's out of bounds. It's illegal to go down.
Yep.
So if you're listening to this, I'm not encouraging anyone to trespass and go in.
Don't go.
There's one other location. That's the location where every time I go there last time, I always have reading, always have experience. And I believe that it's not so much a negative entity that's residing there, but there's a penunggu, a jinn, a very powerful guardian spirit of the land that doesn't want your teenage ass coming in to destroy the place. So if you come in with the whole yaya attitude, show yourself, you're going to get smacked by things.
Yeah.
So now when I used to be that guy that would go in, I was not disrespectful compared to the shows that you see on Ghost Adventurers.
Yeah, right? Oh my God, that's like insane.
So I would still be respectful in a Peranakan way, but still excited about wanting to get a haunting. So now that I look back, it's like, that version of me, it's too eager, too enthusiastic, and would rub the spirits off the wrong way. So I want to go back there and redo what I've done before with the new me and new ideas and see how different that is. So nowhere that I wouldn't go.
Okay.
What about overseas? Would you go to the Aokigahara, Sea of Forest?
Oh, is that a suicide forest?
Yes.
I would go. I would love to go. I want to go to these places. Yeah. Would I die one day doing something stupid like all this? I guess if it did, then that would be my final story to end off Supernatural Confessions and maybe pass on to the next group.
Wow, this guy is like dedicated, man. This guy, we are like children compared to him. Like, we tell ghost stories. We have a ghost show that call other creators to tell ghost stories. But this guy is down there like, speak to me. If I die, then give me one last video before I die. Some shit like that.
I used to think Carlo was my polar opposite, where he's brave enough to go take the visuals for ghost maps. No. As it turns out, you're my polar opposite.
Yes.
You are the complete opposite of the coward that I am. So
yeah. No, I would say like dedication and like a a form of like study, right?
Yeah.
A form of study. In the past, I wanted to do something. I wanted to study demonology, like the Warrens. But then I found out like how dark it would get, and then I stopped. It's very dark because when you go in that grain, right, it's all the way on. There's no stop one. And I also like to believe that, you know, like as much as like the Warrens, they live a right long life, I'm sure it has affected them to a certain degree because they have that museum and then they study about demons and they fought with a demon allegedly, right? Yeah.
You don't get out of this without some form of transformation.
Yeah.
And I was actually invited to learn the craft. I actually asked, I said, I want to learn more about the supernatural world and where do I start and everything. So eventually it led me down a rabbit hole and I found various masters who were willing to guide me towards that knowledge, the esoteric knowledge. But all of them required me to go down before going up. So I was saying, no, I want to be kosher. I want to just connect the divine, the high vibration, you know, the very love and light, right? No,
that's not gonna happen.
You really want to know that, you got to be prepared to go down.
You need to fight with dark forces. Yeah.
You can't cleanse anyone. You can't protect yourself if you don't know how dark forces work.
Yeah.
So with my like limited knowledge on the things, right, I have friends who are very, who are with the tankies and the temple folks, right? Yeah, they do. Actually, it's really a huge part of your life. For the Taoist side first 15 and I think and certain dates, right, vegetarian. And some days when they want to fight evil, full vegetarian.
Yeah.
It's dedication, man. And they will. It's like a non-profit thing, you know. They get called up to go exercise because the tankies, they need supporters. They need a lot.
Yeah.
So then they are all the helpers. And my friend has told me like he has been to like haunted HDBs that are abandoned. The job there is very clear. Cleanse the place. Clear the spirits. It will be back, but you need to clear for now. Then they need to go one by one. And it's part of their training. It's part of their spiritual process, which is like, if you can't do that, then you don't need to bother already.
Yeah.
It really is like that's the basic. Then after that, you slowly climb.
Being vegetarian is actually one of the, across a few different faith and belief, is like the number one thing.
Yeah.
I feel in that.
Pure soul.
Yeah.
It's a pure soul thing.
I guess because like no animal, you know, you haven't consumed another animal, like something like that, like, imagine. I do wonder also, like, this sounds like a very, very broad question, but like, what's your hope? Is it to experience? Is it to find proof? Is it to almost like have like a scientific approach to things? Or?
Not to find proof.
Right.
I feel no matter how much proof you try to find, there will always be a group of skeptics and non-believers. Case in point, you have religion.
Yeah.
You know, did Jesus Christ exist or not? You have one group who will not believe no matter how much evidence you put into it.
Yeah.
And the other group who just believe just wholesale, and then there's everyone else in between.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to prove anything.
Right.
I'm here to document. I'm here to answer questions, mainly for myself, because I want to know. And after I know, I'm just going to share it with you guys. And if you guys want to know, good for you. You want to read, feel free.
Yeah.
You want to believe, go ahead. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying this is what I have found, and I'm sharing it with you guys. And it's just the real interest in, there must be something more to life than just us on the ground and making money 9 to 5 and living a white picket fence dream and then die.
Yeah.
And then what's next? It would be kind of sucky if my entire existence, my soul in this world is only just for that finite 70 years. And it's kind of fucked up, kind of boring life to have.
Yeah.
So I like to believe, again, like use the word I like to believe. So I feel that there is this whole universe of spirit, like the Matrix, and there's so many different layers. And because I'm a storyteller and a writer and a movie buff, I'm not just interested in learning about the sci-fi side of it. Sometimes I even allow myself to dream, could these sci-fi stories be based off something that is more real?
Yep.
And then I start digging. And the more I dig down the rabbit hole, the more I start listening to other podcasts, other people start talking. Then I start triangulating all these patterns together and go like, hey, enough people believe in this for it to be real. So two schools of thoughts. One is this: nothing exists until people start believing.
Right.
Right. So if enough people believe in this, then therefore this reality must then exist. If this reality exists, as with every reality, there are a set of rules.
Yeah.
What are these rules that I'm going to be playing with? People who meditated, they said we can bend rules. I want to know how.
Yeah.
Maybe can I be that guy? Maybe not. But how does that work? I'm just curious to know all this. And this is me just putting things down into videos and documentation and throwing it out there. That's just the whole motivation behind what I do.
Wow,
No, I like that.
that's very spiritual.
Yeah,
existential, even.
Like we've had this conversation before, so where it's a case of if I would not want to see proof also. Like it almost feels like having proof of it almost kind of diminishes it a little bit.
So it's like a red pill, blue pill thing.
Not exactly. It's more like, like what you're saying, like you want to explore but not like build concrete walls around it.
No,
in that sense.
yeah.
It's just, it almost takes away what makes it special if you start to ground it a little bit.
And I think I'm the kind of very annoying kid that, the mother says, don't touch the pot, it's hot. I'm like, hot? What's hot? Really? How hot? It's hot. Okay, I'm not sure, let's try again. Okay, it's really hot. So I need to be there on the forefront. If someone tells me this place is haunted, I'll be like, how haunted?
At least you're the kid that touches it only twice. You didn't go in for a third time and go, maybe that would be different. So, twice. Okay,
Yeah.
That's still quite reasonable.
So speaking of hauntings, right? What sort of protection do you bring when you visit these places?
Previously, I was dependent on my own internal energy.
Okay.
So they have this thing called the visualization technique.
Yeah.
And not everyone can do it. So those with very strong power of imagination, it's easier to tap on that energy within. So you walk into a place, you go into that mind space and you go like, I am now protected. Right. So either it's really spiritually effective, or B, you hype yourself up that I am protected and you're not scared. So either way it works, right? But having seen some places that is so cursed, so haunted, where your visualization technique alone isn't enough. So I do carry some artifacts with me, and these artifacts actually were gifted to me by people I trust, people who are in the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And these are artifacts that you just can't buy it off someplace.
Right.
They go like, you're doing this, you need protection. So I have right now in my new version, Museum 2.0, I have the old African blackwood that acts as a conduit and a wand that spoke to me when I first touched it, and it's not cheap. It's not easy to get. The guy was like, it's a gift to you. It's yours. I'm like, okay. Then I have a feather from a fan that is owned by one of the underworld gods, and he plucked out his fan, stamped it with his seal, and says, you go anywhere, you bring this. It's like your passport. No one will touch you. It's like decree from the underworld. Then there were many others. So depending on what I need and how intense I'm going in, I will equip myself adequately. Again, you don't want to go into a place for discussion packed with guns and rifles, because that's going to just affect people, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm going into some place that is a war zone and I know it's going to be extremely demonic in nature, then I will pack up the wazoo. Otherwise, it's just this, my little amulet, my own imagination. It's fine. Then I go home, I Palo Santo myself too. Just the whole idea is you don't go in pack.
Right.
Yeah, but maybe a knife in the boot or a pistol at the back, sufficient.
It's a very clear metaphor, I will say.
Yeah, it's very clear, right?
It's very clear, and I've honestly never thought of it that way before.
Wayne and I think we are both minimals. Yeah. Pistol and a knife.
Enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, enough. Enough.
I think mine probably just knife because if I have a pistol, my aiming quite bad. So I just go with what works, and then just like.
I mean, can you imagine going to a haunted house and with like your bazooka strapped to your back? Like, I come in peace. I just want to talk, guys. Just to talk.
Let's be honest, if you carry a bazooka anywhere, that's just not going to work.
Yeah, not Texas, bro. This one. Yeah. So speaking of the feather, right? Is it from the Toriape? Okay. That one power. That one quite strong. Yeah.
So is your minimal pack? It's mostly religious items or
spiritual items.
Spiritual items.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, because I'm not religious, so if I bring a religious item, I don't have enough faith to power it. Imagine I bring up a cross and the power of Christ compels you. The ghost probably laugh like, yeah, give me a verb form or a phrase from the Bible. It's like, you charlatan. I'm like,
That'd be horrible. You go down there and the ghost is like gatekeeping you. No. You need to pass the test first.
Yeah.
So for our friends, for our listeners who don't know what is the difference between spiritual and religious item, can you like share?
A spiritual item would be a piece of wood, like the kayu raja, that is known to have spiritual properties, or the palo santo, which is again from a tree that is from Peru and Ecuador that the shamans have used for thousands of years. So people use for aromatherapy, essence, they sage a place. So there's no religious significance. You can be of any religious background, you can still use them equally. But a religious artifact would be, say, a talisman.
Yeah.
Or a crucifix.
Yeah.
With strictly religious binding to it. So I tend to use the natural stuff.
Okay. Wow. So he's like I could say organic guy lah. Organic guy lah. When you talk about like products are organic some really natural.
Yeah, no GMO free, organic. Organic salt.
Then like in terms of so you talked about the feather, you talked about the staff and everything, right? And those come from very different spiritual sides of things. Is that like, because you mentioned just now, like, don't have too many differing items in the same space.
Yeah.
But if you're going on there with, like, say, the feather and the staff and everything.
So I pick one.
Okay.
I don't bring both.
Right.
If I'm going with the feather, I'm just going with the feather.
Right.
Like the guy, it was a very interesting conversation. He was like, usually they give talisman, standard practice, right? Then he's like, what do? You do this. Okay, hold on. Talisman not enough. Teach them the feather. So, so I'll use the feather for the big deals.
Right.
There were other things that has the yantra or the mantra. Let's take the Tibetan flag, for example. That you go into a place, the idea of the Tibetan flag, again, not religiously centric, close to Buddhism, but it's to infuse the place with positive energy.
Yeah.
Like singing bowl.
Yeah.
So if I'm going in for a friendly, that's what I'll bring in. But if I bring home anything or what, then I know there's like a AR-15 behind me. I can pull it off. I need to. Yeah.
You've made what you do sound way more action-packed than people will be like.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah. It's like Hantu Die Hard.
Hantu Die Hard. Really hard to die.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Die very long already.
So normally when you go in, it's just one item with you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Clearly I'm not cut out for this, because if you told me to just walk into a place like, say, Old Changi, right, with a feather, I'll be like, no.
Yeah, but see, that's where the belief comes in,
Exactly.
right? Like
if
I tell you, okay, I won't put it on your table. Yeah. If I tell you, even if I bullshit you, and I'll tell you a story about bullshitting later on. If I tell you this is a blessed piece of wood, it will protect you, put it on your chest like Iron Man, and you believe in it, you walk into that place having more defense than not having this at all.
Yeah.
Because I had an experiment with controlled groups of people.
Yeah.
So I went to this really haunted looking place. I went into film. I was like, wow, this is damn shock lah. It's not haunted. I couldn't get any evidence. But I took one control group of people. I said, this place is haunted. There's a door slamming. There's voices. The whole 9 yards. Then they went in. And they found evidence exactly that's how I've said. EVP, EML, door closing. And I was quite baffled as well when I saw the footage. Like, when I go in, nothing happened. Why did they go in and everything happened? Because I planted that in their head. And collectively, that group believed this is what they're going to find. And it created that charge. And they found what they were looking for. Another group, I said, there's nothing in it. And they went down. Really, there's nothing. So
do you believe in it? In that in that experiment, which one would you believe?
So I believe that the power of belief powers up the spiritual world. Either artifacts or ghosts. So if I go into this hotel room, I was like, hey, actually this place, I think ghosts and not. The ghosts are like, okay, thanks for the powering up. I now have the mandate to haunt you. But you see, those people who are skeptics, who want to see ghosts, cannot see ghosts because they're so full of it. Yeah. They can't see.
Yeah, so I have a story, right? It's damn funny. It's one of those army stories. So it's the same thing, skeptic. So my brother-in-law's friend. So they enlisted and then they went to Tekong, right? Tekong first night. And this guy, right, is a full-on skeptic, not scared of ghosts. So he said, okay, I'm going to go investigate if Tekong is really haunted. Then he went to the toilet at 3 a.m., sit down in the middle of the toilet, wait. Then he called my brother-in-law. Then my brother-in-law picked up, what? I'm sleeping. What are you talking about? It's like, hey, bro, no ghosts eh? Really no ghosts eh? Tekong got no ghosts? Where got ghosts? You lie to me, where got ghosts? Then he heard, shuk, shuk, shuk. Then he asked, what are you doing? Oh, I washing my underwear. There's nothing to do. Just multitask. Then no goes, fuck lah, you keep the underwear. You take the underwear out. That's why the ghost don't want to come and find you. Then he keep the underwear. Then he wait another half an hour. Still no ghost. Then he call my brother-in-law. Hey, shut up lah. Go back to sleep lah. Some people really zero.
But as an item of protection, I would say underwear is the most
because
the weirdest one.
I don't know lah. Underwear. Some of them they scared lah. I would be, especially red one. I don't know why. I heard it's like an old wives' tale. Like underwear. Some spirits are scared of underwear. You take the underwear out. Maybe the guy virgin. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, we're going down a path here that's far scarier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I don't need to speculate about your brother-in-law's friend.
Yep. Okay, so now we'll go to the portion right where we answer some questions from both your fans and our fans lah. Okay, so let me start with this. Bastards, this question.
Good start. Good start.
So Copy Dog is asking, will Eugene invite Kyle and Wayne on an impromptu paranormal investigation?
Copy Dog, I've been asking Wayne and Kyle to come for impromptu investigation. That was actually the idea. Then Kyle's like, no, Wayne will not allow it.
Yeah.
You got to convince them, guys.
No. You got to convince the coward. All right?
Yeah.
If you can convince the coward, first of all, well done. Second of all, I don't know what you did.
Yeah. No lah, but I think it's also a brand thing. Like when we first started out, a lot of people also ask us, hey, why don't you do true crime? We don't do true crime because a bit too close to real life. A bit hard lah. It's a natural extension, right, for horror. And we also don't do investigation because we scared, and also like I feel like we are not ready to cross beyond that boundary. I feel like once you go beyond that step off point, right, no way back already. Is it true? Like it's like no way back on.
Wait, okay, that kind of, I know we're supposed to do fan questions, but that kind of a segue. When did you know that this was what you want, what you need to do?
I don't know. Everything that I've done in Supernatural Confessions have been very organic. Like when I started the book 10 years ago, I did not imagine 10 years later I'll be sitting around here having the experience that I had. It was just trying to get by and survive. And then when I wrote the book, it was a closure. I was not thinking of turning this into a career as I'm doing it now. So everything has been very organic. It's almost like the spirits have pushed me, or the divine energy has pushed me to where I am today. Even last year when I went for meditation retreat and had the vision, this year June I had a vision, it just all seems to point to me that whatever that I cannot see that's out there has some major plans for me, and I just feel, you know what, I'm just going to go with it instead of resisting it. So open to surprises.
Have you ever like asked like I don't know, like feng shui masters, or like ask them, are you cut out for this?
Oh yes, I did.
What was the answer?
No.
They said no?
No.
Like how many did you ask?
Like many. Right?
Oh my god.
Many. It's like, oh, you don't have.
Like 生辰八字 you give them, then they say don't have.
You have susceptibility to the spirit world. But can you be a 师傅 lah? Can you be the 钟馗 catch ghosts? Cannot.
No, but like more of like, are you suited for someone who does horror content?
Yeah.
They said yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they said that. For the supernatural side, I have that thing in my parts.
I thought you were just that garang where they're like, you know, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. And you went, nah, I think I'll do it.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, because I did the same thing. Like years before I started Ghost Maps, I chanced upon this master. Not for myself, I was accompanying someone. And this master like, hey, you're an 80s, right? I said, yeah. How you know? You have the look. They're like, okay. But because we got faith, let me do it for free for you. Then pull up. Then I just asked her, I'm actually thinking of doing horror, you know, like as a content. Do you think I have the life? Do I have the life to do horror, you know? Is it within my 八字? And then he said, he just laughed. He just like, ha 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 ha. Like it's like one of those like fake laugh, ha ha ha. That's it. No answer. But he did predict when I will get married. Which at that point I didn't have like a thought for marriage also. I was like, wow. So I don't know. I need to do an update for that.
I wouldn't know how to take that. If I ask, am I suited?
No, it's always a question mark for me now. Like, am I suited or not?
I mean, the fact that you even want to ask, it has the inclination already within you.
Yeah.
Like for you, it's like, I don't want to be,
I put him in.
Like I said, out of all the people we know that are passionate about horror, who create stuff for horror and everything, I'm the least likely person.
But that's why this is working out.
Oh yeah,
The energy match. The energy match. Yeah. So, actually, I'm sure you know him. Ernie. Remember Ernie? Drunken Ramblings.
Oh, Ernie! Hey!
Ernie used to be our guest also. He's asking, how has horror developed in the modern times? Horror movies. Like movies like Talk to Me. You know, the hand one. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very intelligent question. Okay, let's.
Well done, Ernie.
Yeah, I love that
Ernie, very
question.
intelligent one. Yeah.
I think horror movie has been so far removed from its source content.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the 70s, horror movies back then were very real. I'm even talking about Asian horror. Right?
Yeah.
Asian horror movies, your Pontianak, your curses and everything. They're very true to form.
Yeah.
But audience need more kick. Even the 1972 Exorcist back then, it felt so real because it was done over a period of time and then they still didn't succeed.
Yep.
Today, can you still run that formula with today's audience? You can't.
Yep.
So even the latest Exorcist Believer, here's a spoiler, happening one day. And that is very Hollywood. With flying things and everything up. So the horror today that we see in Hollywood has gone the way of superheroes. The Nun 2, everything loud, big, expensive budget. But horror don't have to be like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Horror is all about the suspense. And I'm Asian. I find that the kind of horror that scares me the most is the horror that you can't see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Atmospheric.
Atmospheric.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of horror short films. If you guys get a chance, look at horror short films, the 5 minutes, the 10 minutes. Those really get to the punch of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do hope to see more Asian horror comes out that is not artistic or is not comedy, because the latest range of horror that we see is horror. What do you call it? Horror D. Comedy and horror.
Horror comedy.
I've never heard that term, but I wouldn't be
comedy,
surprised if it's horror-y.
Coin term by Jack New.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's famous for that. The slapstick stuff to just to make it less scary. I get it, because we look at the Taiwan and Hong Kong horror, it's funny, and that's a signature for them. I get that. Then there's also what's that one? Curse of the Pontianak. The Glengoy one.
Yeah.
Revenge.
Yeah.
It's so artistic
Yeah.
that I, as a horror fan, you're not engaging me, but I'm sure you will win awards for sets and everything. But I want the story. I want the lore of the Pontianak. Sell me that. Apparently, I'm too much of a purist lah. So,
But okay, so what is that one? We will usually ask that question later lah. But I guess
Now we have to ask it now, yeah.
topic. What is that one perfect horror movie for you? Any?
in modern times, Conjuring is the one that got me.
The first one.
The first Conjuring.
Okay.
I love it because it's based off a true story. You know the history of it. So you go in with it with the premise that, okay, there is some truth to this. I'm not watching made up stuff.
Yep.
And because the director is a Malaysian, right? So he knows the Asian flavor for horror. He didn't go to Hollywood style until later on. So
until later on,
the scene with the...
Yep. Damn. Yeah.
Because that suspense, that brings you as an audience, you know it's not, but the character does not. And you're just sitting there, you're at the edge of the seat going like, don't go. To me, that's how you sell horror. And
Brilliant.
with the latest one, with the Talk to the Hand, that was not too bad as well, because it doesn't follow the same formula as the other run-of-the-mill cookie cutter horror movie.
Yeah.
And this is a brilliant idea where you can talk to the spirit.
Yep.
And you're all a bunch of teenagers and you're using this for a party trick.
Yeah.
Because all of us, like you said just now, how you were silly in your younger days, we were playing Ouija board, playing Spirit of the Pen, we were going to haunted places for kicks and giggles. And when you watch this show, as an adult now, you go like, yeah, I was kind of like that last time I was young.
Yeah. Why is ya? Or like why is ya? Right.
Yeah. So when I saw that, it to me, it was very accessible to me. So I love it for that reason. Yeah.
What about Asians one? Do you have any Asian one? Gotta represent. doesn't have to be like recent lah. Maybe 2000s also can.
I think the closest that I found entertaining enough from an Asian perspective, I give it a lot of credit, even though it's not the best horror show, was Haunted Changi. They came up during a time where there was like found footage and everything. There was a Singaporean found footage in Haunted Changi. And then no one else can film in Changi anymore after that. So that to me was still very precious, despite it not being, if you compare apple to apple, as great as the other Hollywood shows. The Medium, the Taiwan, okay, that's a bit more budget. That was freaky. That was extremely scary.
My dad thought it was a documentary.
I'm still waiting for the right time to watch it during the day.
You need to watch it.
I know.
It's very good.
I'm literally bracing myself to watch it.
Shutter?
Okay, I like Shutter as a concept, but I was not into it as how people are. The Ring, of course. The Ring was brilliant. There's this one that just slipped my mind. The I-10, the I series.
What is the first one or the I-10?
I think it's the one with the lift, where she goes to the lift.
First one.
She pressed the button.
The uncle. The uncle floats towards her.
Sometimes horror shows, right? All you need is just that one scene.
And then he screws up the elevator for you.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it like the last Dead Air episode. The eye.
Oh yeah.
The floating thing. Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, but the funny you will say that the Shutter doesn't do it for you, but the Medium is the same director. But I guess his vision has matured.
It's one of those things where you can have the same director and then
two different styles.
Exactly.
Two different styles. Because the Medium it's almost like found footage, but it's okay. A good comparison will be Wreck.
Yes.
Wreck. But Wreck is zombie, right? This one is horror.
The original was Quarantine, was it?
Yes.
I think Wreck came first. The Spanish
Wreck is the Spanish one.
Whichever one.
Quarantine is the American one.
I know the Spanish one came first.
How about the Paranormal Activity, the first one?
The first one was fantastic. The whole idea of it is like, like you do the Blair Witch Project, right?
Yeah.
You do it once, that's it. You stop at one. But then if you do it another 5 times, it's just silly.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
because the novelty of it is gone.
I never found Blair Witch Project scary. So
it was just a novelty. It became a classic because it was just
exactly.
It's a novelty.
I think I admired it more as an event than a film because like that at the time itself, like when people were talking about it, and I love the fact that for a stretch of time people weren't sure whether it was real or not. That kind of stuff, I was like, that got me. The movie became a cult. The movie's fine, but like that stuff really got me.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you is Conjuring and The Medium. Okay, got it. Okay. I don't know what this question means, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay. We're going to find out.
This guy is Adam Mitch. He's asking, will Eugene and Kyle go to a Singapore Getai soon?
That seems like a very self-explanatory question, and I love that they left me out. Adam, thank you for leaving me out of this.
I guess it's like the 7-month Getai, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
but what does Adam mean? Like just to go there and participate, or just as an audience? Or
I guess like just an audience and go and see.
Not to sit on the first row.
Oh hell no! I'm not gonna do that. Are you gonna do that? No. You see, he will try, and this guy will try anything.
Dude. Excuse me, sorry, we just here to experiment. Paise. Wrong room, that's it there.
Wow, bro, I think the bouncer's gonna bounce you, man.
Okay, Adam singled to you, not me.
Speaking of chairs, just to segue a bit, 26 Sin Min Drive, the latest one with the abandoned block.
Yeah.
So I was doing live investigation. Then I turned out to this corridor. There's a bloody chair on the middle of the corridor. I got the heebie-jeebies and the vibes were just going off, right? Then people on the chat group was like, hey, go sit down on the chair, Bloody hell. So I sat down, literally sat down there. I put the camera there. I felt it. I could tell it's going to be haunting already, but I needed the audience to know there's haunting, not just Eugene Tay says it's haunting. It's got my EMF meter and everything. And he just went intelligent conversation with me, back and forth. Yes, no. That's that chair. So
how do you feel? Did the chair feel cold or warm?
No, but when I sat down, I felt like the way I feel when I'm in a place with very high spiritual energy is almost like walking into spiderweb. I get this whole very uncomfortable. And you try to, but there's nothing there, right? But there's things just sticking on you. That's how I felt. Yeah.
You somehow made it worse for me by using the spiderweb comparison. Somehow it just feels worse for me.
No, it's very descriptive, right?
Yes.
we all felt like spiderweb. So, but in the spiritual sense.
Yes.
So you're sitting through something. So did it still felt the same way after you left?
No, so in that session, I actually asked, I said, can I give you love and compassion for you to move to the light? Is that what you want? And it gave me the permission. So I just closed my eyes and meditated. I had my burning kamelian there. I said, I'm now going to give you an offering, right? To move. Either move on, move lah, right?
Yeah.
I'm not here to fight you. I'm just here to give. So I sat there and I meditated. Then I opened my eyes and all done live stream. It's like all live. Turn up my EMF meter again because I could feel it just, the weight just left me. Then I checked, nothing, zero reaction to my surrounding. Then I know you must have accepted the offering. So I said, thank you, I left.
Okay. So Eugene and Carl would definitely go to a Getai. Here's the thing. This year I saw someone posting Getai in a cemetery. You seen that? Have you seen that?
I wish I have gone for that.
Yeah. No, I wasn't free, but my friend went. So it's not Bukit Brown, it's Lim Chu Kang, but it's organized by temple, but there were 5 groups. So you know those mobile trucks with Getai stage on it, 5 of them. So the cemetery didn't feel like a cemetery. My friend went, hey Carl, you see, it looks like a concert. So there were cars parked beside the graves, and then people were just looking. Of course, they were performing for the spirits. This was during 7 months. And then I was like, I want to go there. I need to go there. But he confirm won't go with me. I'm not going there to ghost hunt. He can do that. I'm just going there to see. I just want to see.
You say that, I am actually quite curious.
It's a cultural event.
Yeah. That... okay, weirdly enough, right, that makes it
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah. So, if they do it again next year,
Okay.
can.
No, I'll bring you with my friends.
Okay.
My friend Temple one. Okay one. Yeah.
You're not joining us because we've already put the idea in your head of sitting in the front row.
No. There's
So
no seats. Bro, there's no seats.
Oh, there's no seats.
They don't set up. They just park on the roadside facing the grave. They just play the music
Okay, now I
It's
feel
like,
less scared
it's
about
like a
journalism.
rave. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like nothing. Then there will be people standing there. I don't know whether if there are people but I will go to see it.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what it looks like. Just like...
He goes like, oh, it's so crowded. Let's take some photos. Next morning, you go and look at it. It's like all empty.
Oh jeez, bro.
Yeah, I will keep my phone in my pocket the whole time.
To correct that perception, I don't always go and ghost hunt. In fact, I don't go and ghost hunt. I try my best not to, unless I'm invited to. Oh man, not so free.
Okay. Yeah. Fair point. Okay. So speaking of ghost hunt, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a lot of stories. Can you share with us some of the scariest encounters you've ever had with the supernatural?
Okay. Okay. I'll share with you some of the newer ones.
Sure.
But there's one that I've talked about a few times on my own show because this really is not. It's the day till the day I die. That's what I'll bring to the grave with me. This one incident that I went to do to help this group, this family. It was about 2015, I think, right? So I was in the middle of Supernatural Confessions already, and people would call me and tell me their stories.
Yeah.
So there's one night I got a call from one of my staff who says, my cousin's house is haunted. I said, okay, but it's about 2 a.m. now. Can I take the call tomorrow? She says, no. She wants to talk to you now. She just needs someone to talk to because they are going crazy. Yeah. I picked up the phone. I talked to her. She says, oh, hi, pleasant woman. So my house is haunted. That's the first line. I remember this. My house is haunted.
Straight to the point. Okay.
I say, what can I do for you? Can you come down and take a look? So I know I was once upon a time in the position of that lady where I was just looking for help, desperate for help. Anyone, can you please come and help me?
Yeah.
And I was sit outside at 3 a.m. rocking under the tree, something just totally lost. So I knew exactly how she felt. And I said, okay, let me come down.
Yep.
And she was in Tampines. I said, fine, I'm in Pasir Ris. I'll just take a cab over. Came out to the house, it was second floor. Saw all the bags are pretty packed. Husband, wife, 2 kids. I said, okay. Hi, ma'am. I'm here. I'm Eugene. You said your house is haunted? Yeah, come in and take a look. So I said, okay. I went in. I still remember a Christmas tree. So that was 27th of December. Christmas tree was there. I walked in. Clean house. Doesn't look haunted at all.
You were alone, right?
I was alone, yeah.
Okay.
Right, the family is all just at the door. Walked in, and so we did the whole usual. Okay, if there's any spirits here, show me let your presence be felt. Give me a sign. So I waited. It was all of just a few seconds, like maybe under a minute. Mother Mary just fell off the altar. Ooh. They look at me. I look at them. I look at the aircon. I said, I think it's the aircon. Right? You just try to find any reason for myself, right? Because my balls just...
Yep.
And so I said, okay, in paranormal investigation, you got to ask the same question twice. Right? If that was you, can you please show me another sign? Right? And I was hoping nothing would happen. Then I can explain it away. Like, oh, it's coincidence, it's the aircon. Waited slightly longer this time. The rosary beads just broke and then just fell to the ground. There's no way I could see the wind. They looked at me, I looked at them. They put a house key on a table. They said, you can stay the night if you want. And they left. And I did. I stayed the night. But before I stayed the night, I was asking them a few questions first. And a haunting of this nature has only two types. Someone send it to you, or you summon it yourself. And because of that, I felt safe.
Right.
Because whatever that's haunting this place, I'm not a target.
Yeah.
So I stayed the night and I did my whole investigation. We got a lot of evidence. Then eventually we got to the root of the problem. But I remember going to the house at 3 a.m., not expecting anything, and the Mother Mary falling off, followed by the rosary beads.
But so you captured a lot of things?
Yeah.
Wow, did you sleep?
I did sleep. I stayed the whole night.
Until what time?
I stayed about 5:30, and then all the EMF, EVP, everything just stopped. The vibe just stopped.
It left lah.
Either left or you just didn't want to communicate anymore.
Oh, so can you share what happened after that?
Okay, so at 5:30, I opened the door. I walked out to have a smoke, and I saw in front of me, because the last question I asked was, it felt like through the conversation I was dealing with more than one entity. So I was asking, how many of you were here? How many of you here? Open the door to have a smoke at 5:30 a.m. I saw all the shoes was nicely arranged in sets of 3 by 3. Unless from the time of 3 o'clock where they left to 5:30, some OCD neighbor came by to arrange the shoes.
Yeah.
I took that 9 as a sign that that's what the spirit's trying to tell me.
That there's 9 of them.
Next morning, they came back. They brought a priest with them, Catholic family, right? So brought a priest. They were chanting. I was standing at the main door, overlooking the dining room, the kitchen, and the living room. The husband was with me, and we both, while the priest or the pastor was singing songs and doing the cleansing, he and I smelled gas from the kitchen. He looked at me. I looked at him. He walked to the kitchen. I saw him turning off all the gas, the stove. There was no one since last night, and I'm the only one. And I'm standing apart where I can see the kitchen. So who turned it on? So to me, I was dealing with a class A entity that was here to tell you, I mock your religion, your faith. I can turn on the gas to kill you anytime I want. So this was an extremely dangerous entity we are dealing with. On one hand, I could just F this shit and go back. It's not my problem to deal with. But I felt certain sense of responsibility to this family. Again, because I have been in that spot where I was desperate for help. And I knew how that felt, and I didn't want people to feel that way.
Yeah.
And because I know that, again, I'm not a target, I'm not really at risk, so to speak, right? I'm still quite away from that. So I started, and people talk about paranormal investigation, they go and find ghosts. That's usually a thought process. Oh, go into investigation or exploration is go there and find ghosts. But real paranormal investigation is about finding out the source of the haunting.
Yeah.
Right? What are we dealing with?
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't know what you're dealing with, having that pen move across the table or having an EVP appear on your gadget means nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, go away. Oh, I got to go away from my EVP. So, and this is someone's life we're talking about. Real investigation. So I interviewed one by one. I interviewed the father, interviewed the mother, and the 2 kids. So I went with the father first because if someone's going to send you a curse, I think it's you. Because you run your own business.
Yeah.
And people will send a curse to you for 2 things. Money and love. Which means you probably take someone's wife or you steal someone's money right, from business. So I target him. Spoke to him. He said, no, his business is bad. He's a family man. The wife, attest to that. Oh, he's always come back. He's always at home. So, okay, he doesn't seem like the drinking, go karaoke type. So probably not him. The mother is a housewife. Unlikely you fight with the market uncle and the market uncle send this sort of thing to you, because whoever sends this kind of curse to you is a death curse.
Right.
To power the death curse requires life or life. So I don't think the market uncle is going to do that.
Yeah.
Elder son, Tekong. Okay, Tekong ghost doesn't come out of Tekong. It's not that kind of devil. The youngest kid was like, what, 17, I suppose he was then. At first when I saw him, it was long sleeve t-shirt. Then the second time I saw him again, it was short sleeve. Full sleeve tattoo. 9 names on the hand. Jang, jang, jang. I kind of was suspicious about it. So I said, hey, you got 9 names. Both guys and girls. So I kind of knew what I was dealing with already. I sort of pinpointed on him, but I knew he was never going to tell me what it is. So I got to throw some curveball at him. I said, hey, how come you got 9 names on it? You understand, like, every time you sleep with a girl, you write her name. You got both guys and girls. You bisexual lah. Then he, no lah, my friend. I said, I also got a friend. I don't tattoo myself. What? He said, oh, my friend passed away. I said, how old are you? 17? 9 friends passed away? At the time I was like 30s, in my early 30s. I don't even have 9 friends to pass away. He said, oh, these are my close friends. So, okay, close friends pass away. How did they die? Final Destination style. Pierced through the head, motorbike accident, really gruesome death. Now, I'm getting somewhere. So, this is where I pull a bluff. I said, how many of you are involved in the ritual? I just pulled it out of my ass. He says, 10. So that's an admission. There is a ritual, there's 10. I said, you're the last one left. Have you not figured that this thing's trying to kill you now? That you're next? No lah. Then when he rubbed himself, I noticed, hey, Rolex. Wow, I got Bulgari ring. So you get those. Your father says business is bad. He himself got no Rolex and everything. How come you got all this? I threw another bluff, right? I said, fake one, right? All these are fake one. Then he said, no lah, real one. I said, how you afford? You're 17 years old, how you afford? No lah, I was very lucky lah. We gamble, we win lah. Then I said, we're getting somewhere. So I said, where you gamble? Then I can't remember what the conversation went on. He said he would go open bottles. He play with Samtio there. Then I know, okay, Samtio, Thai. So we're dealing with some Thai magic here. So Thai magic, understanding of the Thai practices, you know that there's a lot of artifacts and they have to be kept at home.
Right.
So I said, if I look under your bed, will I find something? It's another bluff. And then I see his face start pale. I said, okay lah, I'm onto somewhere lah. So I did call some master to come down to cleanse the house. The master said, cannot. It's a death curse. Blood for blood, life for life. Whoever who have made a pact with this entity has not fulfilled his part of the bargain. The entity wants to claim it. And the master is not going to intercede and say, take on the burden.
Yeah.
So we all left. And I said, no one can do anything for you. Whatever you promised, you just got to finish it up. I left lah. I still kept in touch with them for a while, but after a while, they stopped contacting. I also stopped messaging them. 2 years later, they invited me down to their Chinese New Year house for to their house for reunion dinner. I saw the guy again. Oh, tattoo all like partially laser, all the bling bling all gone. So I look at him, he look at me, and then there's a bit of the, I know.
But the parents know lah about this story.
Don't know.
You talk to him privately. Why you never tell the parents?
No one lah, not my position to pachao his lobang lah.
Okay. Yeah, so we are curious. Like, I think he has a question, but I will ask mine first because it is in sequence. Don't you think that you're getting involved in a sense whereby by exposing this to like because it's a death curse, right? Then you're exposing this to the world. Like say telling the story itself lah. Yeah, won't it put you at harm with the entity?
I don't think so. I think there are rules.
Okay.
Entities, spirit world, they have to play by rules. If I'm not the target, I'm not the one owing anything to you. Me telling the story has no bearing on anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I felt that there was more to gain from the spirit world and the living if I share this story. Which means, if you are going through something like this, you now have a story to fall back on, a case study. If you're thinking about doing something like this, you now have a case study to have a more informed choice to do it or not to do it.
Yeah.
And if you're the spirit, now you have more people who have spooked out about not delivering on their promise. So when I look at it, hey, it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, so how did the matter get resolved with the son? Like, I honestly, when you were halfway through the story, I was like, oh, this is not going to end well for him.
Yeah.
And then you saw him again like a year later, tattoos all removed and everything, and you all had that moment. Do you know how he resolved it, or?
I do not know for a fact how he resolved it. I just know he's alive, and the logic side of things would be whatever that he had promised.
Yeah.
He either returned or he delivered, or if he had forgotten, then he would have to give back all that he has gained.
Okay.
And perhaps even pay a price.
This one gao lan. This kind of thing, I've heard it before.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Eugene know this, but I'm half Thai. So Thai people, they get a lot of course, the black magic is very, very real and very, very strong. We do get like the misconception that all Thais do black magic. No, not all Thais do black. And you have to understand, black magic, there's a price on. The price is very, very heavy. It's to the point of life or life.
Yeah.
And it's very damaging for your soul. And if you believe in the whole karmic thing, right, you might bring forward to your next life. So yeah, I have seen it occur to a certain extent. It's very, very strange, and it's gotten like quite the reputation to the point whereby like, when you tell people Thai black magic, then people are like, okay, I get it. You don't play with that. You don't play with that. Yeah, it's scary.
I'm also kind of curious, like when you started the story, because you talk about like, you know, the Catholic statues falling out. So my first thought was, and maybe this is stereotypical of me, Angmo ghost, Angmo demon. Have you encountered like, or what you think at least is something from outside of the region, but within Southeast Asia?
So I have a theory of this, and it's something that I've been playing around my head a long time, and I cannot seem to get the right answer.
Yeah.
But I spoke to a lot of people about this same question you just asked me.
Yeah.
I see ghost and spirit.
Yeah.
My understanding of them now is that they are all energy patterns.
Right.
We as Asian see this energy pattern. We ascribe certain characteristics to this energy pattern because that's how we understand.
Yeah.
If we see a white gown, long black hair, we are going to react, and our energy is going to respond to that energy in a way that is meshed, right? Fear.
Yeah.
Understanding that energy is a Pontianak. We then react accordingly. If we were to see, say, an Victorian gown ghost holding a lantern, we're like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's not going to get the reaction that it needs.
Yeah.
So entities feed off your fear. It feed off you.
Right.
So when we are in Asia, we have a collective consciousness and believe what that energy is. We then see that as it is. European guy who comes to Singapore may not have understanding of Pontianak, but he may see it in a way of something that frightens him. A faceless ghost, something with, that to him will garner that same reaction. And that's my understanding of it. So sometimes, we when I go overseas to Europe, I'm not afraid. I'm really not afraid.
Yep.
What's that can happen? I will go to this few hundred-year-old cottage. I want to see a ghost. But I want to see a European ghost with chains and with a whole night hat with a little ball at the back, Nightmare Before Christmas style.
Yeah.
But it's not. Anyway, when I went over to Israel last time, and I asked them, is there any haunted places, any ghost story? No. And no one believes in ghosts over there. So then there's no ghost lah. So it's our belief creates that energy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also a cultural difference. Right?
Yeah.
For us, we go colonizers. We go about colonizers. Nothing one. How can you beat like a penis grabbing vampire spirit versus your headless horseman? Your headless horseman might get into an accident, bro. Cannot see properly.
See, but I like that theory because that makes it interesting. Because if, let's say, somebody migrated from Singapore to America, for example, even though you've grown up with all of this down here, if you're in that culture long enough, eventually you take on, you start to see those spirits, that energy for what it is to the Americans as well. That's interesting. That is actually a very interesting concept.
I talked to my friends from overseas, right? To them, poltergeist activities, old Indian burial ground, as far as their law takes them.
Yeah.
When we have our own Pocong, Penyangga, Pontianak, everything that is already quite a lot. Orang Minyak. Then you look at the Japanese lore.
Yeah.
Oh, that pantheon of horror is like anything and everything has something.
Different world. Different world.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Shifting gears. So you are still horror.
No, I like how cheery that shifting gears was after that heavy conversation. Shifting gears.
Yeah. So you are currently actually conducting walking tours in Changi, right? So when is it? How often do you do it?
Every Saturday night.
What do you call it? Plug.
I call it the Walk with Hantu Changi. I intend to have like Walk with Hantu Changi, Sembawang, Pulau Ubin, different places. Right now I'm doing it at Changi because the government has mandated that whole Changi will be torn down and rebuilt to be something else.
Yep.
So there's like a limited time only.
Yep.
So we really want to go
course.
down. And you see all the abandoned buildings are still there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I can really bring you on a tour and I can point to you, this abandoned building, that tree. But I say, for example, if I go to, Kampung Glam, right, there are stories of old shop houses and things there. Be like, try to imagine how these places looked like before.
Without all the nightlife.
Yeah, but it's at Changi, it is still the same kind of vibe that it was years ago. In fact, if you drive from anywhere, and the minute you go into Loyang and hit to Changi, the lights are different, the air is different, and the vibe is different.
Oh yeah.
There's something about that ground. So you're doing it what? How once a month?
Every week, once every Saturday.
Garang, this guy.
So
from what time to what time?
Minimum 6 to sign up. I mean, you can come alone, but once I got 6, I can actually run the tour. It's from 7:30 to 10:30, and then we end off at one of the cafes. We sit down and have a drink and share ghost stories.
Nice. You see, this guy is dedicated, so do check him out. Unfortunately, it's only available in Singapore for now. But if you are traveling through, some of our listeners, they are international listeners traveling to Singapore, please check out. We'll link it down below.
It's quite a tourist spot.
You guys should come too. It's very safe.
We'll try.
It's night safari, bro.
We'll try. Maybe more people. More people. He's like we went to do another thing with Changi, like an experiential thing. We adapted one of the Ghost Maps episode into like a walking tour where you can listen with a set maker. And then the founder Angmo lah. So he also like, guys, can we go in the day? Then we go. Then even that, right, I also feel like then when we walk up, the security came. They drive up, they look at, what you all doing here? No lah, just taking photo, going for a stroll. I said, I wanted to ask him, but then I remember the rule: don't ask ghost story at Changi Hospital. Not in front of Changi Hospital. That one cannot. Yeah.
I still remember when the guy from Set Maker was like, can we do it during the day? Immediately my head was like, my man.
Sorry lah, producer lah. I was like, I need content. I want to do a vlog. Yeah, but then okay lah. Maybe it's for the worst lah. I try not to tempt fate lah.
Yeah.
I also follow a bit of faith. Like fate lah. In a sense whereby, if it's not meant to be, don't force it. You might get different outcomes which is not too good.
Since I got the founders of Ghost Maps here, I want to share this idea with you because it's in my head.
Okay,
if it involves me walking with you to Old Changi Hospital, I can tell you right now what the answer is.
No, it doesn't. I bear in mind. I'm going to keep you safe, but I'm going to keep you safe and entertained. So I have this idea of wanting to create a map. And the places like there'll be like hotspots and people can go there, click and listen to the horror stories. And I thought it'd be a perfect title called Ghost Maps for the app. Then I see, no, Ghost Maps is you guys. No, I can't take this name now. But if we have all these stories together and that's something we can pull it off, the Ghost Map app.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pitch this idea.
Doable. I mean, as long as it's not a podcast, I don't mind you using it. I think it's fine. We can work together on it.
Yeah.
You guys are Ghost Maps. You guys be part of it.
I almost feel like, okay lah, we're probably not going to do this, but the M for maps, and then you got app down there.
Maps, apps.
Maps, apps.
Yeah. See, it's the perfect name, man.
Yeah, it is a perfect name. Yeah. Wayne came up with the name, by the way.
I mean, that's actually the story behind the concept for Ghost Maps also, where it's exactly like what you said, like, so many places in Singapore, you throw a stone, you can hit a ghost story at any place.
Yeah.
So that's what that was our initial concept behind it as well. Like, let's chart all these stories in different parts.
We're going to make that happen then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. We can speak more. So, I mean, I know you shared earlier just now. What are some of your favorite horror movies, books, and even games?
Horror books. I still very much in love with this Earthborn Guide to Supernatural World. Remember that one?
I heard of it.
The one with the skull in front.
Oh,
Earthborn Guide. That was my very first. I probably had a lot of horror books when I was growing up.
I can imagine.
But that's the one that I keep thumbing it over and over again. I can remember some of the stories even by heart, like with the imagery of this guy in a lift. The attendant, when this woman was walking towards him, says, "Nope, the lift is full." She's like, "No, the lift is not full." Then he closed the gate and he smiled at her. He goes up and the lift crashed. And she's like, "Oh, who was that? Who saved my life?" And then the hotel, when they were doing the investigation, like, there's no lift attendant there. You know, so I was like, whoa, you know, this kind of horror, the times you cannot explain that it doesn't have a beginning, middle, and end. It really sticks in my head.
Atmospheric.
So that's books. What would you say? Movies?
Movies, yeah.
I can watch Conjuring and The Medium over and over again.
Okay. Games.
Unfortunately, I don't play a lot of games. The one game I played, the latest one was the, was it Phantasmal?
I'm looking at a car.
Plasmaphobia.
Plasmaphobia. Okay. These are all the
Ghost
modern
hunting,
ones.
then ghost hunting. Yeah.
So that to me was more interesting than scary. The scariest game I've ever played is Phantasmagoria. It's an old game that you play on your, I think, 486. And you have like 2 CDs. And it's actually real people acting. And you can go click in a haunted house, you can solve.
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's this haunted house. There's the auntie actually bestow it to the granddaughter.
Yeah.
Then she goes there. There's something wrong in the house, and she had to solve it. And eventually, got possession and everything. So as a teenager, when I played that game, I turned off all the lights with headphones on. And I can even listen. When I think about the title now, I can even hum the theme song to you. When you load the game, it goes dum 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 dum, jung 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 jung.
I like how you can play these games with the lights. I couldn't even play Wolfenstein 3D with the lights off. So
You know you're gonna have to play the mortuary assistant.
Oh, I know. And I don't know why I volunteered to do this.
Bro, good luck, man. Yeah, nice.
I like to believe my incompetence at games will outweigh how scary it is.
I think it'll be quite funny lah.
Yes.
He'll die like within the first 10 minutes.
If I'm lucky.
I will watch you play that game just to see your reaction.
Oh yeah, that's I don't know why. Like I've established that I am such a coward. But when he was like, "Hey, what game should we play next?" I was like, "What's the one, the mortuary one?" And he's like, "Mortuary assistant." I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "What's wrong with you?" I also won't play it.
Yeah, I won't play. It's too scary.
Yeah. I don't know why I
Because
volunteered
it's
to
the
do
first person perspective. And then you will see like the body rise up and all. And then it walk towards you. And then you will like, boom. It's atmospheric because you will have sounds like you're working as a mortuary assistant. And then you have like this weird body that basically you need to cut up. You need to actually cut up the body and stuff. There's the gore. And then there's like just you alone. Then there will be like the doors of the freezer opening. And then when you turn, the light will go out. Then you come back, then you see like a shadow at the back. It's like it builds up, and then there's like there's something happens. Apparently, there's like 5 endings.
What's the other one with the take photo one? The click.
Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame also.
Japan. Yeah. That's pretty scary also.
That was quite a while back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have new titles coming out.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
I like how I only got excited when you mentioned CDs into the computer. I was like, yes.
Telling about our age, right?
No, actually, yesterday just before I slept, I was watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? Remember?
Okay lah.
Yeah.
Okay lah. Now
That's a kid show lah.
Thank you. I feel a little bit more.
But there's certain parts that was quite creepy. Yeah. That was like,
I do like those kinds of shows, movies, and like stories where it's scary enough that children can enjoy it, but not like traumatizing.
What's that show? The one on Netflix?
Mr. Midnight.
Mr. Midnight one?
Yeah.
Singapore adapted it, right? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty well done.
Yeah.
They shot in Tanah Merah, but it's not in Tanah Merah. It's
Indonesia,
in
right?
Batam.
Yeah.
Tanah Merah. Sure.
So Eugene, what's next for Supernatural Confessions? Are you working on something cool?
Yeah, I'm working a lot of things right now in
my
tandem
God.
because I just quit my day job this year in April and concentrating on Supernatural Confessions full time.
Nice.
Along the way, our fans have said, "Hey, you guys are like the Ministry of Supernatural Affairs because we pride ourselves on being the authority on supernatural stuff because we do a lot of research, try to back up what we say. I say, okay, the MSA is not too bad. And I felt next year will be like the 10-year anniversary of the book that I've written. And I thought, okay, it'd be nice to just rebrand, not totally to something that's alien, but to shape it to how it has evolved now. Like my Facebook group is called Must Be the Hantu. That has not changed since 2015. So I'm thinking maybe, Must Be the Hantu came about because it was a tongue-in-cheek way of saying anything that happens, you just blame the Hantu. Right? Oh, they can move. Oh, must be the Hantu. But now we want to understand what's the Hantu behind it. What's the law behind it? And our audience have actually grown with us through the many years. And now, if you just say it must be the Hantu, they're not enough for them.
Yeah.
They're going to start to debate with you because they already know. And I think we have to evolve with our audience in that sense. I'm still going to focus on content because I love the content. It's the blood of Supernatural Confession. So still be very much in that. Yeah. But I may want to look at expedition. I may want to go out to places. I may want to do outside of Singapore because Singapore is a bit kind of restrictive already. And as far as merchandise goes, I have ideas to create tarot cards. I'm a game developer, so I want to encapsulate some of the lessons I know about the supernatural world into card games. It's less preachy than trying to write a 10,000 word thesis on my understanding of the spiritual world. But you know what? Play the game, here's the rules. It's kind of like, understanding how the spiritual world works. I have a live show next year, 6th of January.
Oh, wow.
Live show, like in front of live audience.
Oh, nice.
So I definitely want to bring you guys on board as well for that one.
Where's it going to be? It
will be somewhere in town, in Somerset. We got all the bookings done already. It's a 100-pack auditorium.
Nice.
With a nice lobby space outside to mingle.
Nice.
Probably get my drinks sponsor to come down to support the event. So I'm very blessed because we have Nocturne Noir, who every year Halloween is like, he'll call me up and like, bro, let's do this. Only one I want to work with for Halloween. And so we kind of have that tight relationship. And turns out a lot of our audience, we drink lah.
You need to drink. You need to drink. Slight tangent. I connected with Eugene 2019, right? And then the pandemic happened. And initially we didn't want to show our face because we are behind the scenes people. But now different. Now different. How things have changed, right? Thanks, guys. So then I met him on a shoot where he's hosting for Bitsy. It will come out. I think by the time you watch this video, it's already out already. So it's about related to supernatural lah. And then we reconnected. The first thing I saw him, this was afternoon. You're drinking already. But I get it because it gives you liquid courage and it helps with the hosting, it helps with the talking. If you don't have the drink in your system, it's very hard. You feel
not lubricated.
You feel the tense. You feel the tense.
I only go for the hardcore stuff.
Because you can't drink. You can't drink.
Green tea.
If you can drink, you confirm drink. I swear to God, man.
But here's the thing, right? When you do investigation and you go to haunted places,
we don't drink.
Don't drink because when you lower your inhibition, you lower your defenses, it will come into you just like that.
When we were doing our first horror shot, my assistant director was like, Kau don't drink. And she's Indonesian. She's like, don't drink. Don't let anyone on set drink. Because once you get drunk, easy. It flips the switch just like that. Okay. So, this question, we ask all our guests.
Yes.
Okay? For us, it's very stupid lah. Okay, it's basically what are you afraid of the most?
What scares you?
For us, right?
It could be anything, not necessarily supernatural.
You see when?
For us, same answer. Cicak.
Lizards, man, bro. We do horror. No, scared cicak.
I don't like touch wood. I'm not tempting anything, but any supernatural encounters, anything, pales in comparison to the mere thought of a cicak touching me.
So haunted room and cicak in the room?
I'll take the haunted room.
Anytime.
I'll take the haunted room.
And this is a person who's scared of ghosts.
I am a coward.
No, cicak is different. It hits different, man.
Okay, if there's cicak, I'll take care of it for you guys.
Okay, thank you.
But if there's kachua, cockroach,
I'll handle.
I will scream like a girl.
No, I'll handle. In fact, Kyle is.
I'm not scared of cicak. I'm not scared of cockroach. I smacked one flying one before.
So he's next level. I would, if the cockroach on the floor, I still can handle. If flying, a bit difficult.
Yeah, see, just think about cicak. Cicak cannot fly. Cockroach, it can take off like that and fly and...
okay.
Talking about it, I'm getting this shit.
Yeah, okay. Look, to make you feel better, I shall myself also. I understand fly, but I saw a cicak do parkour the other day.
Yeah, cicak can jump.
Like, nice little backflip from off the wall.
Yeah.
Which to me is like,
I don't know why they do that, right?
I don't want to
They're
know.
trying to flex and show off to you.
Well,
Maybe
mission
that's,
accomplished. I'm very impressed.
maybe that's the inspiration for Cicak Man. Yeah. Nice.
Another movie I want to watch. But yeah, what
my
scares you?
kid will catch cicak.
Oh my god.
Yeah, with hands. Okay, so all honesty, right? I think my fans all know this. I am terrified of cockroaches. And my community will keep sending me cockroach picture, cockroach memes, cockroach stuff like
Wow.
Your fans sound loving and evil at the same time.
Yeah, a bit of both. A bit sick. So what if you see a cicak entity? What would you do?
No, kachwa.
Kachwa.
Kacau entity.
Oh, I'm out of there. I don't even need to know this entity and all. I'm not going to even ask, man. So on Changi Walk, there's one part. There's a lot of cockroach.
Yeah. Is it the broadwalk?
The boardwalk part. Now it's actually pavement already.
Oh my god.
I would be like, I'm not ashamed, man. I'm not ashamed.
But you will still go lah.
I have to lah. I'm leading the walk lah. But I will be, participants. I love you and all. I'm supposed to take care of you. But for the next 100 meters, you're on your own.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But every time you go, got cicak.
No,
got kacau.
no.
Sometimes
But when I think like rainy weather or something, they are running around.
Oh shit.
Running around.
Must be a nest.
Yeah.
Less afraid of kachwa than I was cicak, but even that thought also, I'm like,
But the good news is haunted house, more cicak than kachwa.
Yeah.
Good news for who?
For me lah.
Yeah lah.
So I can go in.
I see now why we have the dynamic that we do.
Okay.
Yes.
So, lastly, thank you so much for coming to our show. So, last thing, plug. Where can we find you online?
Well, you can find me online. The easiest place is supernaturalconfessions.com. That's the website. And from there, you'll find the link to my YouTube. I'm on IG, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, on Facebook. But quite frankly, I have only focus for YouTube. So youtube.com/supernaturalconfessions. Please subscribe. We are trying to grow the channel. We diligently create content every week. And I mean, as professionals and not experts, so professionals and enthusiasts of the topic, we take a lot of effort to curate the content. So we hope you enjoy it, watching it. Lately, I've been doing a lot more investigation videos because fans are asking for it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know when I stop or when I'll start because it's very much impromptu. But the latest one, about 26 Sinmin Drive, has been getting a lot of views. So if
Abandoned HDB, right?
Abandoned HDB. Yeah. So if you like to go on an adventure, but you don't want to be there, right? Watch me on YouTube, Supernatural Confessions.
Mm. Thank you so much. So now we'll do the closing.
Yes. But before that, again, thanks so much, man. I can't believe it's taken us all this long, but I feel like this feels like some kind of culmination for all of us.
This is like 4 years in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is awesome. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot, man.
Now, radio voice. New episodes of Ghost Maps go online every second and fourth Thursday of the month on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms. New episodes of Dead Air go online every 13th of the month. To make sure you never miss an episode of either, subscribe now and follow us on social media at We Are Hantu. That's one word, WeAreHantu. I just realized that sounds like the Mickey Mouse Club theme song.
Yeah, it does.
If you'd like to share your own stories that could inspire future episodes of Ghost Maps, you can reach us through the contact form on hantu.sg or message us directly through Facebook and Instagram. You can also be one of our supporters on Patreon at patreon.com/wearehantu. 1, 2, 3.
And remember, just because they're stories, it doesn't mean they're not true. Good night. Thank you, Eugene. Good night, everyone. Bye. If you want to stay up to date on Hantu or listen to our other podcasts like Ghost Maps, subscribe now and follow us on social media. You can also be one of our supporters on Patreon. Look for We Are Hantu or click the links in the description. Dead Air is a Hantu production, hosted by Kyle Ong and Wayne Ray, with album art by Jolene Lim, and recorded on Audio Technica mics.